Hello guys, welcome back to S.Chukd Football TV, back with another one on S.Chukd Football TV. This video will be titled No More Excuses. That is what I'm going to title this video, No More Excuses. And what am I alluding to? No more excuses from Mikel Arteta. That is who I want to talk about. But before any further ado, please, do the usual: like, comment, subscribe. Let's hold on. Yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Comment, let me know what you think by the end of this video. So, no more excuses from Mikel Arteta. No more excuses from Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta has been Arsenal's coach for over 5 years now. I think so it reads here because Mikel Arteta has been the Arsenal manager since December 20, 2019. According to BBC Sport and Transfer Markets, this means that he has been with the club for over 5 years as of today, August 1st, 2025. And he signed a new contract in September 24, extending his deal until 2027. So Arteta has been in Arsenal for over 5 years now. I think this coming season, entering the next season, will be like 6-7 years. There's no more excuses. He has only, he has done. See, let me give Arteta his just due. Arteta has done incredible. He's done incredible. Take it or leave it. I know he's won only one FA Cup since his duration in Arsenal, but he has done he's done a very good job. The fact that Arsenal are now considered a top club, even the fact that they are now in the conversation for winning the Champions League, winning the Premier League. They are in that conversation, whether you like it or not. They are in that conversation. You cannot mention top teams in the league without mentioning Arsenal. So there was a period where they were not even considered top three in the league. They were laughing stock at a certain period. They were laughing stock. They were not even qualifying for the Champions League. So Arteta has done well in putting them back in that conversation, in putting them back in that top three. Arsenal have ended up in the top 3 position 3 seasons in a row. Ended up top 3. They've ended up second, to be specific. And he's done incredible. They are currently, Arsenal is arguably the best team defensively in Europe. They don't concede a lot of goals. They have defensively, they are easily the best in Europe. Arsenal are easily the best in Europe. Midfield wise, they are one of the best. But it's now when it comes to the attacking position that Arsenal have had issues for a couple of seasons. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, Arsenal haven't had a striker for numerous years, which is not true. Arsenal have had strikers. They've had Gabriel Jesus, who is a striker. They've had, what's his name? Edin Ketia. However be it, he might not be a top-notch striker, but he is a striker. He is a number 9. So they've had strikers. They had Aubameyang, they had Lacazette. These were strikers. Aubameyang, but I would say out of all these strikers, Aubameyang was, the best, was the number 1 amongst all these strikers. So we'll say that Arsenal haven't had a quality striker since Aubameyang. It's not that they haven't had a striker. They have had a striker. And obviously with Gyökeres now, coming into the team, arguably the best striker in Europe at the moment. So we're all waiting to see what Arsenal is going to do this coming season. And everybody has said that Arsenal, the only missing piece in the Arsenal team is a striker. That once they get that top 9, they are bound to win the league. The problem is, in the Premier League, every new season becomes more difficult. That is the thing with the Premier League. Every season becomes more difficult than the previous. So last season, this current season that we're getting into will be difficult than last season, just like how last season was much difficult than the previous season. Do you understand? Because the thing with the Premier League is that there's a lot of money. There's a lot of money in the Premier League that even middle teams are spending a bag, are buying top-notch players. That's the thing about the Premier League. Even the average teams have money. Do you understand? Talk less of the big teams. Look at Liverpool. Liverpool have bought Wirtz, they've bought Ekitike, they've bought they just put a bid in today for Alexander Isak. I think they put in 120 million, which was rejected. They bought who else have they bought? They bought Frimpong. They bought and they still have Salah, they still have Van Dijk, they still have Konate. Look at Chelsea. Chelsea have bought Joao Pedro. They've bought Liam Delap. They've bought Estavio. Look at Tottenham. Tottenham just bought Paulino from Bayern Munich. From Bayern. They bought who else have they bought? They bought this Ghanaian guy from West Ham. What is the guys? You know what I'm talking about? So Premier League teams are buying players. They have money. The average Premier League team has a lot of money, a substantial amount of money to spend. So every new season becomes tougher than the previous one. Do you understand? So going into this new season, obviously, just based off of Arsenal's track record, they are going to be in contention to win the league. But does that mean they are going to win the league? We don't know. We don't know. And Arteta has been backed. There's no coach in Arsenal's history that has been backed like Arteta. Let's see how much Arteta has spent. So it says, from what I'm checking here, it says, since Mikel Arteta became Arsenal's manager in December 2019, the club has spent approximately £714 million on player acquisitions. This figure represents the gross spend encompassing the total cost of players brought in during his tenure. So he's spent more than £500 million. More than £500 million. There's no other coach in Arsenal's history that has been backed like this. That has been backed like this. Let's see. So this is these are the amount the players that Arteta has purchased since he came into Arsenal as Arsenal's head coach in 2019. So I will read the list of players Mikel Arteta has purchased, and I would mention the fee, the transfer fee. So Declan Rice. So he's purchased Declan Rice from West Ham for 116 million pounds, 116 million euros. Kai Havertz from Chelsea, 75 million euros. Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad for 70 million euros. Victor Gyökeres from Sporting for 65 million euros. Ben White from Brighton for 58.50 million euros. Noni Madueke from Chelsea, 56 million euros. Gabriel Jesus from Manchester City for 52 million euros. Thomas Partey from Atletico Madrid for 50 million euros. Ricardo Calafiori from Bologna for 45 million euros. Jurrien Timber from Ajax for 40 million euros. Martin Odegaard from Real Madrid for 35 million euros. Fabio Vieira from Porto for 35 million euros. Zinchenko from City for 35 million euros. Mikel Merino from Sociedad for 32 million euros. David Raya from Brentford for 31 million euros. Aaron Ramsdale from Sheffield for 28 million euros. Gabriel from Lille for 26 million euros. Trossard from Brighton for 24 million euros. Kivior from Spezia for 19 million euros. Tomiyasu from Bologna for 18 million euros. Lokonga from Anderlecht for 17 million euros. Mosquera from Valencia for 15 million euros. Christian Nordgaard from Brentford for 11 million euros. Jorginho from Chelsea for 11 million euros. Pablo Mari from Flamengo for 8 million euros. So this is, and much more. I don't want to I've listed 25 players already. So since he got into Arsenal as Arsenal's head coach, he has signed 40 players. 40 players he has signed. Nuno Tavares from Benfica for 8 million euros. Pablo Mari from Flamengo, I mentioned that already. Matt Turner from New England in the MLS for 5 million euros. Kepa from Chelsea for 5 million euros. Marquinhos from Sao Paulo for 3.5 million euros. I've mentioned David Raya. Ronaldson from Sporting Gijón in Ligue 1 in French League for 2 million euros. Austin Trotzy from Colorado for 1.8 million euros. Cedric from Southampton, free transfer. Willian from Chelsea, free transfer. Cedric Suarez from Southampton, free transfer. Matt Ryan from Brighton, loan transfer. Neto from Bournemouth, loan transfer. Raheem Sterling from Chelsea, loan transfer. So basically 40 players. 40 players. I just listed 40 players Arteta has acquired since his time. 40 players he has acquired, and upwards of 714 million pounds spent on transfers, and yet he has just won one trophy. One trophy, right? Let me see. Let me see to be sure. Arteta trophies with Arsenal. Let me see. With Arsenal, 2 English FA Cups. So what I'm seeing here is 2 English FA Cups for Arsenal in 1819 and 1920. No. What am I saying? For Arsenal, 1 FA Cup, 1920, and 3 English Super Cups. Well, 1 with City and 2 with Arsenal. So 2020, 2021, 2023, 2024. I think that means the Community Shield. I can't even remember him winning that, but he hasn't won any major trophy. Arteta hasn't won any major trophies. So this is a make or break season. This is a make or break season because Arteta cannot, the excuse of, there's no other excuse really if he doesn't win a major trophy. this season. Now I know he signed an extension on his contract last year till 2027. But should Arteta be sacked if he doesn't win any major trophies this coming season? And when I say major trophies, I'm talking about Champions League. I'm not talking about getting to the final. No, I'm talking about lift the cup. I'm talking about Champions League. I'm talking about the Premier League. I would accept FA Cup for a start. I would accept another FA Cup. I would accept another FA Cup. And I think if Arteta wins at least an FA Cup, the fan base might be like, but that's not what we asked for. But you know what? We'll give you another year. We'll give you another year. But he has to win something. Arteta has to win something. There's no more excuses. You have the defenders, you have the midfielders, and now you have the striker that you've been asking for. And me, I think Arsenal should get another striker. I don't think Havertz cuts it, but I doubt Arteta will do that. He's gotten the striker he wanted as a backup striker. Merino is probably there now, who isn't a striker, but piggybacking off last season, he played the striking position and he did decently well. So Arteta will feel like he has Merino as a backup. He has Kai Havertz. He has what's his name? Gabriel Jesus. If he comes back from injury. So I don't think he's going to get another striker anytime soon. But one thing Arsenal needs to get a left winger. Arsenal needs to get a left winger. They can't go into the season with Martinelli. You cannot go into the new season with Martinelli. That guy cannot be Arsenal's starting left winger. Martinelli doesn't do this too subpar. Apparently, they want to sell Trossard. If Arsenal can sell Trossard for like upwards of, I think, I heard that Saudi might be interested. Saudi too might be interested in Martinelli. If Arsenal can get rid of those two and get Eze or get Rodrigo, that would be an improvement. That will be an improvement. But Arsenal cannot go into the new season with having Trossard and Martinelli, especially Martinelli, as the number one left winger. Nah. So the message in this video is no more excuses, Mikel Arteta. You have to win something. You have to win something. You've been backed. You can't say that the club hasn't backed you. The club, you have spent £500 million on transfers since you became Arsenal's head coach. 1 FA Cup and 2 Carabao Cups or whatever isn't enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. He's done well. Mikel Arteta has done well, but Arsenal need somebody that can take them over the line. And I don't want to hear, because I've had this conversation I was having this conversation a long time ago with a friend of mine. He was saying, if they let Arteta go, who else would they get? There's nobody that would. What do you mean there's nobody? What do you mean there's nobody? There are coaches out there. There are coaches out there. What do you mean there's nobody? Imagine if clubs, because one thing I feel is that Arsenal, because they've been bad for so long, Arsenal has lost the mentality of a big club. Arsenal is like for a period of time because they've been so bad, they haven't been like a contender for the cup or for a major trophy, that second place now has become the standard. You know, for a while, for the first season, second season, it was fine. Do you understand? It was fine because, okay, it was a building process. Trust the process. But Arsenal needs to have a big club mentality, because big clubs have big club mentality, because you can never see a club. Like, look at all the big clubs. Imagine, would a club like Bayern Munich keep Vincent Kompany as head coach if he were ending up second place behind Borussia Dortmund 3 seasons in a row? Hell no. Hell no, it would have been sacked. Maybe they might let it slide the first season, but second season is out. Will Real Madrid accept that? No. If Alonso does not win a major trophy this season for Real Madrid, he might be lucky to get one more season, and he's out the door. Even a club like Chelsea, even a club like, who else? Barcelona. Big clubs require big coach mentality, and that's what Arsenal needs. He's been backed. There's no more excuses. No more excuses, Arteta. You have to repay the fans with trophies. All that second place, it isn't going to work. It isn't going to work. And if Arsenal doesn't even end up second this season, the fans will be calling for his head. The fans will be calling for his head. Arsenal, Arteta needs to repay not just the fans but the club. And listen, I'm not going to say that he hasn't been incredible. He has. You can't take it away from him. But now Arsenal needs to cross that line. They need to get to the promised land now. They need to get into the club. It's all fine being outside, being in the club and being outside VIP. Now you need to get into VIP. So let me know what you think, man. Do you think, what do you think? Let me know in the comment section. Do you think Arsenal should give Arteta one more season if he doesn't win anything this coming season, or they should sack him? If he doesn't deliver a major trophy this season, he should be sacked. Let me know in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Let's build this thing together. Until next time, peace.